will rejoin Franco Smith's Six Nations squad after this game. Of course, Italy playing France next week in Rome. But we're underway in this rearranged round 5 game in the Guinness Pro14. And it's Benetton in their usual green predominant strip against Munster in that away strip. No sign of any red, black and some yellow trimming. Is Nick McCarthy, the Munster scrum half, gets the ball away. Jaden Hayward is the man to gather. Hayward not in the Italian squad, now 33 years of age. He's 27 international caps, the former Cato player. There for Brayley. And Munster, 13 changes from the side that faced Leinster last week. We'll try to settle into their patterns. It can't have been easy preparation with so much change. And then, of course, Salanoa coming out of that front row after some problem in the warm-up. Taken on by Finian Wycherley, one of 2 sets of brothers playing for Munster today. Josh and Finian Wycherley starting for the first time together. Of course, Rory and Niall Scannell in the side as well, as Benetton ripped that ball. But interesting to see how Healy gets on this evening. Try and figure out where this one's off to Scannell with the first throw to the line out of the evening, and it's taken by the imposing figure of Jack O'Donoghue. And Munster look to go to the maul, but Benetton have set themselves really well defensively. Munster getting no change out of the first couple of seconds of trying to get that momentum. And Nick McCarthy's looking for the ball now because Munster not really making any ground at all. Taken on by Rory Scannell, set up for McCarthy, and now Holland on the charge around the corner, put to ground by Ignacio Brex, Argentinian-born, who's in the Italian squad, of course. Gavin Coombs, who can consider himself unlucky not to be in the Irish squad for the Six Nations, the first iteration of that squad. It's a long competition, little kick over the top. Where's this one off to? And it's going to be grounded, I think. Well, Darren Sweetenham is latched onto that one, going to be awarded as a try. It should have been dealt with by the Benetton defence. Hayward watched it, comes off his knee, and then it's grounded. Hayward, point. Had an additional 2, not an easy one, and it just swings left and wide, so got off to a worse start for them. Last game for Benetton 3 weeks ago now, when they took on Zebre, lost. They lost both the derby matches against Zebre in the last couple of weeks, losing 22-18 and 24-15. That one is almost gathered by Sweetenham. And eventually over. They don't have that depth, and Benetton one of those. Munster 10 players in Ireland's Six Nations squad. They've rested a number as well this evening. Look at players like Damien Dealande on the bench tonight. Also JJ Hanrahan, Tommy O'Donnell. So much experience, quality for Munster to call on should they require it tonight. McCarthy, it's that kick away, former Leinster scrum half. It's knocked back on the Benetton side. Brayley to Hayward. He'll be doing everything he can to make up for that mistake. Benvenuti, Tommaso Benvenuti, 62 international caps on the wing for Benetton tonight. That's better from the Benetton backs, and it's taken on by Ignacio Brex, former Argentinian under-20s, Italian sevens player, but again, and not for the first time in the opening 5.5 minutes. Significant change in their coaching ticket for coming months, and the 4 bonus points, as I say, in Conference B so far this season. Taken again by O'Donoghue, and around the corner, Munster come McCarthy, little pop pass off to Sweetenham. This time he's put to ground, Benetton into the, well, they go in, they come in from side, and it's advantage to Munster as they made their way into the Benetton 22, but infringement at the breakdown again, and Munster have it once more. Coombs and then Healy, and the floated pass, offering the opportunity for Benvenuti to come onto it, but they had a free play, they knew it, they could take a risk, no advantage accruing, so back will go. Troops, they have been rocked in the opening. Scannell. In the hooker goes to take the back of a maul that's retreating at the moment. Benetton again set themselves well for what they knew was coming. McCarthy taken on by Scannell. And over it was Brex, screaming for a penalty. But they don't get it on that occasion. Then Munster make the mistake at the breakdown, and it is back on the Benetton side, and they're considering running it out of here. Here's Hayward with the kick downfield. Healy well positioned. In fact, it was Esposito who made the clearing kick. Healy sends it into the night sky, chases his own kick. That's a fair competition. Halafihi comes away with it, and then it goes to Riera, but it's intercepted out wide by Liam Coombs, and Coombs pops it back inside, and McCarthy's away, and Munster are almost going to get there. They have got there. It's Scannell. The Munster men are running a bit of a riot, intercepted by Liam Coombs and popped back inside. And once they got in behind, well, McCarthy had time for the on-rushing Scannell to find his man, and in for the second. Underway again. Sweetenham claims the restart, and after it goes Zuliani, the open side. He's 20 years of age, graduated from the Italian under-20 side into this senior Benetton team. Played well in a couple of games against Zebre, was one of the standout players for them, but
use it. No, it's not out.
It's very much in retreat mode for Benetton so far in this game, and Munster full of confidence and happy now to throw it around a little, and they force Benetton back again. Baravale, Argentinian hooker, and just about held on to by Federico Rosa.
Stop,
Up it goes from Tommaso Allen. Plenty of time for Haley to gather and pick his man. And away goes Goggin. In fact, it's Liam Coombs, apologies. Coombs was in the centre. Little kick in behind this time. It is Goggin, and Clote. It's a clap on the back from Archer. And Benetton have taken this one quickly. And Hayward with the clearing kick, and it relieves the significant pressure on Benetton for the moment at least. Here's Mike Haley. Haley runs into the tackle of Rosa, but it's there for McCarthy. Options both ways. Healy and Scannell. Goggin. McCarthy once more. Real zip in what Munster are doing. Archer, Healy. McCarthy, and then Healy once more. Sweetenham gets out of the first tackle. He's put to ground. Scannell, Holland, Healy in the pass. Just got away from the hand of Josh Wycherley, so advantage being played to Benetton, and boy do they need it right now. That kick finds some space. Haley's going across. Ball pops up nicely for him, and the full-back with the kick, but at last Benetton have a foothold in Munster territory. Thomas Baravale finds Barbini, and Benetton go to the maul. It's a maul that is diminished in its impact this season. Was a fantastic weapon for them for a couple of seasons, but they became very one-dimensional, and teams figured out how to defend them, and once again this time it doesn't get any momentum, but the kick behind, and it's gathered, is it? Yes, it is, by Rory Scannell, and they look to turn defence into attack, and Munster are off and running now from their 22. Don't keep the ball in hand, kick downfield, but there's no one there for Benetton, and Hayward goes tearing back to try and get there. Esposito there. Haley is the first Munster man to arrive, and Scannell wants to get on with it quickly. Well, Benetton managed to turn this one over, and it's there for Brayley. Back to Allen, and it's half charged down. It was the hand of Ben Healy. It stopped that kick, and it's there for Munster. McCarthy, well, his kick is charged as well. Both sides need to just mind the ball for a moment. McCarthy back on the Munster side. Here's Holland and Healy. And now Scannell and Goggin, and from Goggin to Haley, and then out to Coombs. Liam Coombs out there on his own. Tackle comes in from Benvenuti. McCarthy. Holland runs a decent line, but the scrum half holds on to possession. And over it go Benetton. And it's a penalty for Benetton. Down the field it goes. They'll have the throw into the line out. Here's Baravalle. And it's down from Rosa, now in the arms of Allen. Hayward had to readjust. Sweetenham gets to him. Taken on by Riera. And Munster win the turnover again. Healy's kick, well, not exactly their line out. But Munster go towards the tail.
Put it down. Okay.
Trying to get that maul rolling. Neither side have been able to do that so far this game. McCarthy, Scannell, Healy, and Haley gets the ball away to Coombs. Liam Coombs put down by Nacio Brex. McCarthy will dig it out. Ben Healy waits. Scrum half looking for it once more. It's there, and now from Holland to his second row partner, Wycherley. Healy, little kick in behind from Goggin, bounces back on the Munster side, then it's hacked through, and once more Hayward is trying to save the situation. Benetton full back as he secured possession. Looks like he might have. It's an arm wrestle down there. Baravalle gets a yard. Munster not quite as strong in defence around that pillar as they would have liked. Benetton trying to play themselves into a position where they can kick with a bit of conviction, and it's there for Braley now. Forward comes Ben Healy, and he should have done better, and he'll know it. Of course, the Scarlets and Leinster, 7:35 kick-off for that one. Strong scrum from Benetton, rock solid. And Allen gets some good clean ball. Pass will find its way to Benvenuti. Around the corner comes Esposito in support of his wing colleague. Allen. Halafihi, he's a precious little opportunity to carry the ball. Toha Halafihi. Dynamic player if he has any sort of forward momentum, but Munster have stopped Benetton in their tracks and do so again, and the kick is really the only option, and it's kicking possession away, and Healy will eat that one up all day, or Haley I should say. Allen. This time it's Healy. And we're going to play a bit of foot tennis. Knocked backwards by Braley. Allen sees some space in front of him and takes the ball up. Hit by his opposite number. Braley then to Halafihi, and up quickly to make the tackle. Really good tackle was Finian Wycherley. Riccioni in midfield, hit behind that gain line. Braley almost caught in possession. Here's Herbst.
No, fit black.
Braley eventually gets it. Allen sitting back in the pocket again, and the decision to kick possession away. And Healy has all day. Baravalle then. And Munster weren't moved by all the movement in the Benetton line-out. Jack O'Donoghue watched it all the way, slaps it back on the Munster side, turned over by Benetton, and to compound the issue, there's a penalty.
With the shoulder, you didn't close the...
And a bad situation just got worse. Happened right in front of him, and no hesitation in making the decision. Definitively from that angle, Munster find themselves inside the Benetton half, and now Healy and taken on by Gavin Coombs. McCarthy's looked lively, hasn't he, at scrum half, almost away again. Had Cloté on his shoulder, just couldn't get the pass away, but Munster advancing once more. Liam Coombs. Tackle made by Bob Beanie, and now it's Gavin Coombs runs into Halafihi. Better defensive set from Benetton, Healy, Holland. All action from Billy Holland, the 35-year-old, looking very sprightly, but at this occasion at the breakdown. We'll resume with the line out, and Thomas Baravalle. Variation at the front. Tommaso Allen gets some front foot ball, which Benetton haven't had much of in the opening 25 minutes. Out it comes to Esposito. Numbers arrive. Braley digs it out. Baravalle tries to find a way around the onrushing Munster defenders. Herbst pops it away. Braley. And Brex puts the head down. He's put down by Rory Scannell. Braley again holds on the scrum half. Cloete makes the tackle, but it's there for Benetton once more. Better from the Italian outfit, taken on by Barbini. And there for Rosa now. 5 metres short of the Munster line. This is the best passage of play that Benetton have put together in the half by a considerable margin. Baravalle, Braley, Allen. Little pass to Hayward. Esposito's out wide. Can he get there? Opening 10 minutes. They've found a way to bounce back. Allen, Hayward, and just as Sweetenham arrived, Esposito bursts through the tackle and grounds the ball. All 6'2" and 16 stone of the winger, used to good effect. Great strength. Sweetenham just couldn't get there. Touchline was so close, but on that evidence, he just about stayed in. On its way, but it's just going to go across. Underway once more. Good chase from Liam Coombs. Benetton pinned inside their 22. Rosa has it though. Braley will find its way to Baravalle. Scrum half again. Allen deep back in that pocket. Here's Mike Haley. Halafihi completes the tackle. McCarthy, and Ben Healy, Scannell and Goggin, who seems to have run off that injury when it looked like he was going to be going to the bench. Knocked forward from a Munster hand. It's back on the Benetton side. Advantage being played to Benetton, and remember, down to 14, but they've found another gear, and this one may, and it does, pop up for them. Halafihi, was it knocked forward? Slightly. Benetton down to 14 that have outscored them.
Boy! Set!
McCarthy, the ball pops out of the back of the scrum, and Healy did well to take that pass as he slipped. Hayward, long pass and a dangerous one from the fullback, who's normally so solid and reliable. He's playing like a guy who is having an off day, to say the least. Once more, kick from Hayward, but this time he's taken out as he looks to follow through. The obstruction after the kick of Hayward, so the penalty from where that ball landed from Hayward's kick. And that's where Tommaso Allen will try and find a decent touch from, and Benetton find themselves up at the Munster 22. Prop forward was supposed to make his debut for Munster in the Pro 14 tonight, but not to be. Braley and Allen, and a little show and go, and he almost got away. Braley.
It's not tackle. Play on. It's offside.
Brex straightens up. So much better from Benetton, up to the 22 now. Little pop pass back inside again, and here's Halafihi, and they're making ground with every carry. Josh Wycherley makes the tackle, but Munster
because you asked me to stop.
in confidence and an opportunity to have a kick at goal if they choose, and that would give them 8 points down to 14 men, and that is some. That's what faces Tommaso Allen. It's as straightforward as it gets, and he adds 6.5 minutes to go to the break. Ben Healy, Halafihi is the man to gather enough for the first time. It's Liam Coombs who's first to arrive. Balavale caught just behind that gain line. Back it'll go to Tommaso Allen. Not the greatest of touch finders, but Clote will say he was committed. But on that evidence, you feel he might have been a little too committed.
It's late, it's clearly late. It's only a penalty on the 5 meter when the ball lands, okay? It's the second of these signs. You must improve, okay?
And now Munster, instead of being between the 10-metre line and the 22 of Benetton, Baravale down from Herbst, and now Allen and Munster make the tackle on Riera in midfield. Gallo, wearing the scrum cap, the prop forward, takes it on a yard further than you thought he was going to get when he initially had it, and he smuggled it away to Baravale. Allen, nowhere to go. Hayward. Esposito, the try scorer in the 27th minute, gets almost that pass away again with Riera on his shoulder. Didn't go forward, says the referee, so on Benetton go. Brex, and they have men out wide if they can shift it, and Zuliani just about gets it away, but Munster get the players across. Popped up for Benvenuti, and they're playing a bit of sevens rugby now. Benetton into the Munster 22. That one is knocked forward, just forced a little. So then after a game of it's not us, it's them, we'll reset the scrum.
Boy! Set!
Benetton really trying to put a squeeze on there, but Munster survive that and then get going forward themselves, but those front rows went down, and the referee's just going to say a slip, and we'll...
Otherwise I am... Boy! Set!
Ready to go again.
Verde, stai su. Lavoro con la legatura, 3.
Both sides trying to make a point with that scrum, and it's Munster
Use it.
who come away with it. Scannell, Rory Scannell that is, in midfield, and it's there for McCarthy, and Niall Scannell clapping his hands saying give it to me, and he gets it. Goes to ground, and in to make the clear out is Wycherley, but it's too late. On its way from the out half. Looks good, it is good. Munster will get us underway at the start of the second half. And, well, we say it so often, the momentum of the next score could be crucial in this game.
Black is legal.
As Munster kick possession to Benetton, and it's the men in green who will start with the ball this second half. Callum Brayley
Stay 8.
to Allen, and the ball is not a particularly good one for Riera, but he gets back and gathers and gets a bit of forward momentum. Again, Munster just a little slow to that one. You would expect this Munster side, despite the fact that there are 13 changes from the side that played last week, there are players here getting their opportunity to make a point, and there is a lack of pace in what they're doing. As Tommaso Allen sits back in the pocket and pings it downfield. It's watched by Mike Haley, one of the players that did play last week against Leinster. There for McCarthy. Billy Holland. Rory Scannell in midfield. Tackle comes in from Herbst. And they've gone after it again at the breakdown. And the captain wins the penalty. Munster just not protecting the ball. They've just played poorly. They've lacked any sort of comfort in what they're doing. But in this game so far, there's been a bit of zip about them. Brayley, Allen, Hayward, who started so poorly, gets the ball away to Benvenuti. Hayward guilty of gifting Munster that opening try after 3 minutes. Gallo, and still Gallo. and he places the ball back with precision. Halafihi, the more you see him carry, the more trouble Munster will be in. Allen, Herbst, Braley, and Allen again. One way, then the other from Benetton, keeping the ball alive. Munster's defence dragged one way, then the other, but no real territory gained by Benetton. Through the phases they continue to go. Allen with a little dink over the top when he saw Munster rushing up, but McCarthy covers that and gets the pass away to Healy. And the kick downfield from the out half, Hayward in a decent position to deal with it. Second try in the 10th minute. Not clean ball by any stretch of the imagination, but Munster have just about held on to possession. Wycherley, McCarthy now, and it's Josh Wycherley this time, and he's held up in the tackle by Barbini.
Use it!
McCarthy very clearly going to the box kick. Hayward waits, watches, and gathers. Clote there. Braley, Halafihi, Holland, one of two to make the tackle on him. Allen goes back in the opposite direction, gets the kick away, but right down the throat of Mike Haley.
Let him play, let him play!
Braley and Haley. Holland, the one to profit. Munster through Clote. He's hit by his opposite number, Zuliani, and then after it goes Barbini. But this time Munster do protect the ball better. And in behind is the kick from Ben Healy, and that's altogether a bit better from Munster. Although the throw into the line-out will be to Benetton, it'll be on their 22 and they're not hanging around. They don't want to hold on to that defensive line-out. Instead, Munster switched off for just a moment and gave them the easy ball, which they then kicked downfield, and Haley will eventually gather, and that pass, oh well, there in Thomas Baravale, taken by Barbini. In midfield is Halafihi. Big man is wrapped up quickly by two Munster tacklers. Baravale, better defence from Munster first up. Now Allen, watched all the way in behind. Hayward, great hands to hold on to that and get the pass away to Benvenuti. Braley again. Gallo, good soft hands from the prop forward to take the tackle and get the pass away. Allen, Brex, and a little gap opens up for Brex, and then the pass, it's a terrific one, and Barbini sort of flings it, but it finds its way to Esposito, back inside once more, and Haley grabs a hold of it, but then knocks it forward, and Brex latches onto it, and Benetton come flying, come tearing into Munster, and on they go. Hayward stretching Munster one way, then the other. Halafihi comes back inside. Big man that played for the Hurricanes for Taranaki gets Benetton well inside that Munster 22. Gallo is put to ground. Munster are defensively set again, and they need to be, because Benetton are throwing everything they have at them. Still possession there, but slower ball, and Baravale says, I'll go around the side. Tackle from Josh Wycherley.
Use it! Stay, full.
Halafihi dallies for a moment, and O'Donnell makes life difficult. Allen comes around and then fires the pass. About to say, remember, Benetton have not won at home in any competition since December 2019. And Munster have not lost in Italy since 2013, and there is a ways to go in this match. But Benetton are not giving this one up easily when you thought they might. Allen, plenty of time to survey the options. The decision is boot to ball once more. Hayward will go chasing this, but Plenty of time back there for Mike Haley. Allen again. I feel the two of them could do this all evening. And eventually it's Munster that go for touch, and that was the face of the captain, Bodbini. They go towards the tail. Not sure that was altogether straight, but the referee in a better position than I am to judge it. And Benetton go to the maul. Badavale at the back, and a little bit of change out of that maul for Benetton. They want to keep going. Well, Badavale wants to keep going, but Braley says it's gone down at the front and we need to use it. And it goes from Brex to Riera, and the kick in behind the onrushing Munster defenders, and it's a really good kick, and it pins Munster back inside their 22.
Stay there, stay there, stay there. Stay there.
That one didn't go according to plan, but Billy Holland did really well to stretch and just do enough to get it back on the Munster side. Esposito, who carries forward. Braley, Halafihi up quickly to make that tackle was O'Donnell. Allen, Brex. Centre has had a big impact on this game, second half in particular. Gallo, this time not allowed to get the pass away. It's Archer who makes the tackle. And Benetton just trying to change it up and keep Munster guessing. Saw the on-rushing defence once more, got the kick away, but it was dealt with on this occasion by Munster. And then into the breakdown, and Benetton compete once more, but it's back for Ben Healy. And the referee blasts to the whistle.
Four, green, take the man without the ball. It's penalty.
Penalty against Herbst. For Munster, wearing 17. Around the corner comes McCarthy. Good tackle from Bettinelli, his introduction to the game. O'Donnell tries to carry. He's put to ground. Healy, and then Liam Coombs off his wing. Into the 22, Munster go. McCarthy, here is Lockman. First time we've seen him since October, Jeremy Lockman, and advantage being played to Munster, and an opportunity to have a little go maybe and try and create something. Here's Goggin. Healy throws himself in. Little kick from McCarthy. He knows the advantage is there, and that one's going nowhere, so we'll back. Strikes it firmly, strikes it true, up go the flags, and Munster on the replacement bench for Benetton, far more experienced than the men that started, Riccioni and Gallo. So it shouldn't weaken the Benetton cause at scrum time in particular. Tackle from Els, and the ball there for Munster.
Inside. Use it. Stay on side.
McCarthy's kick. Hayward readjusts and gathers. Almost gets away, but back to the safety in numbers. Bettinelli. Tackled by O'Donnell. Should be there for Braley. Takes it out, and Allen, as so often, goes to the boot. That one, not a particularly good kick from the out half. And we're going to get to a bit of foot tennis again, are we? Healy. And Allen. Your serve, Soaso.
13, stop.
That's a good kick over the head. This time, the ball is kept in hand by Tommaso Allen. And the tackle is made by Archer. Els takes it into contact. Braley's looking for it, he's found it. Bodbini. And that's good. Somehow Ruzz has come away with it, and Benetton have an opportunity. Braley on his shoulder, and he's looking for support. Callum Braley and support arrives, and it goes through the hands, and a real opportunity for Riera, and Riera's almost away, but O'Donnell does enough and makes the tackle. Still it's there for Benetton.
No, 5.
Slow ball. Munster should have their defensive line set. Els tries to take it through the middle. No change there. Brayley will dig it out. Riccioni carries. There for the scrum half again. Zuliani can't find any advantage there. Brayley once more. Benetton in a terrific position. Can they capitalise? No, they can't. It's forward from Brex on the tackle from Healy. And for once in that position, Benetton didn't look like they had the plan. And it was easy for Munster to defend. And it's back with the out half, and the job will be complete. And Benetton go to their maul again. An advantage being played, and an opportunity to have a free roll at this, and the maul is the weapon of choice. They continue. Petrozzi at the back, and he has it. He's a live wire. All action scrum half is Petrozzi, who finds Bettinelli, and it's there for the scrum half again. And Riccioni thought about the pass but did the right thing and put the head down, suck in a couple of Munster defenders. Change for Munster and hooker as well. O'Byrne is in, Niall Scannell is gone. Petrozzi. Benetton, again, the belief growing in what they're doing. Barbini, the captain, is snaffled to the ground. Petrozzi, though, as Brex comes on a hard line, but he's put down. Ball still there. Rosa. Was it forward? I think it was, but we're going to come back. 3, you feel that Allen, and he is going to go down the line. Sweetenham is gone. Dialande is in. Els, the replacement hooker, doesn't find his man, if his man was intended to be in that line out. It went long. 5 metres short of the Munster line. Little pop off to Snyman. There from Zuliani, just a couple of metres short now. Benetton looking for their second try. Rosa. Holland desperately trying to hold them up and create the maul, and if they have created the maul, then Munster will turn it over, and that's a really good defensive effort. Scrum half still the same for Munster. Nick McCarthy. Change, of course, at 9 for Benetton with Petrozzi there.
That side, both of you pre-engage, okay? Crouch.
Benetton anything but folding this evening in this first hour.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay there.
Get it in. No, but we do get a free, and that brings that scrum, which they don't. Hanrahan will fire it to touch, and it'll be a throw to Benetton. Cornel Els then down it goes to Petrozzi and into the midfield, and the pass from Riera goes out to Sorto, and Sorto fights off the first tackle and the second, and on he goes. Leonardo Sorto makes ground when it didn't think he could in midfield. It's a tackle on Els, but Benetton hold on to possession. Allen trying to move the ball around, keep that Munster defence moving from one side to the other. Sorto again is called into action. Petrozzi will find it, but Munster's defence should be set from here. Els again, along with Sorto, second carry for both of them in this passage of play. Rosa has got good hands the second row, really does, as away comes Barbini, and not for the first time he pops a pass off when it didn't look likely. Petrozzi, scrum half looking for it, finds it. Allen, Hayward, Riera, and holding on to it at the second attempt is Bettinelli.
Stay back.
Barbini, Lockman the first to arrive and make the tackle. Dialande makes the tackle on Pasquale. Benetton eventually decide little chip over the top is what's required. Munster deal with it though. Possession effectively just kicked away there. O'Byrne, and the ball knocked free by Ellie Snyman in the tackle. Referee says knock backwards rather than a knock forward from a green hand. McCarthy, the box kick, and Hayward will watch and make the pass. And somehow Petrozzi digs himself out of the first tackle and gets to the safety of numbers. Ellie Snyman carries. Snyman, Zimbabwe born. Hayward.
Stop, 20.
Riera with the kick, and that one I thought was going to go out in the full, but in the end, it's a super kick. And I think, in terms of this line out to Benetton, 4-point game. 14 minutes left in it, and when Munster needed a big play, they got one. I think it was O'Donoghue who got up in the air and steals the ball from Benetton. They needed that, Munster. And McCarthy back to Hanrahan, and the exit is complete. And Benetton have tried to get on with these quickly all night, and they've done it again. Here's Hayward. Dialande comes up to cut off the opportunity to go wide, so back inside comes Benvenuti. Lots of traffic over there for Barbini to try and navigate. Pick and go was from Pettinelli.
Six offside.
Offside against O'Donoghue and Munster. So advantage being played. Benetton can take a risk here. Hayward shuffles the ball on, and it's knocked forward by Benvenuti. Will go back for the kick from Allen. Els finds Snyman. And Benetton's maul starts to inch forward. Didn't really get any change out of it in the first half. A little bit in this second, and that's okay, but they need to make sure they retain possession, and they have. And away with it comes Petrozzi. Scrum half needs support.
Stay back, stay outside.
Ball is there, and it's with Rosa, who's really put himself around in this game. Federico Rosa will have done his chances of playing for the national squad. No harm at all in the performance of tonight. Els there for Brex, one of the star men for Benetton. Here's Riera, his centre partner. Petrozzi, great service from the scrum half. Allen's almost through, almost squirmed his way through. Petrozzi, and then Zuliani. Munster up quickly, and they shut off the opportunity. Trying to milk a penalty, Benetton, don't get it. Dialande makes the tackle on Pettinelli. Rosa again. Petrozzi. Hayward with a little pop off, and they're going to get there again. Oh no, Benvenuti doesn't ground it. See, Tommaso Benvenuti, the vastly experienced international, just couldn't find a way to dot it down. Terrific work from Mike Haley.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Inside the final 9 minutes. Benetton 5 meters away. 4 points down. Can they find a moment of magic? Hayward goes scampering off. He has support. Back inside. They're over! Sarto with the try after 10 minutes. And as we go into the final 10 minutes, they now lead, and Hayward to Sarto. And the try is scored. They have their second of the evening, came back in beautifully, showed the experience, and after Benvenuti had butchered an opportunity, Sarto does no such thing. Well, it's game on. Conversion to come. What about that? Game restarts. Will it be a 1 point game? Will it be a 3 point game? The conversion will give us the answer to that. and it stays at just the 1 point. So then, where to from here in a game that looked like it was done after 10 minutes? Lots of experience, lots of ability in this Munster side, and having started so well, they simply went off the pace. They didn't have the accuracy, they've gone to sleep at times, and they now find themselves in a position that no one really saw coming into this game. If ever there was one where you felt tick it and move on, it was this game, based on what we had seen before. And it still might turn out that way for Munster, but they've been given one hell of a fright, and they've got to find a way of turning it back in their favour. Snyman, pass gets away, and you know Allen just wants to play the game deep inside Munster territory. If they're going to do it, tell them to do it from all the way back there. Here's Goggin. Haley. Is that one going to go out on the full? It might have, and he was outside the 22, but Benetton play it, and he's Hayward. And they'll do this for the next 5 minutes and do it happily, if that's what Munster want to do. They'll play kick tennis. And that one just about stays in field. Hanrahan. Munster going to have to do something other than play kick tennis. Mike Haley gets drawn into a couple of defenders, did well to get around the outside and get a bit of forward momentum. Here's O'Byrne. McCarthy. Lockman. McCarthy again. Hanrahan and Goggin and O'Donoghue, and into the Benetton half they go with just over 4 minutes left on the clock. Billy Holland. Munster have been in many a tight scrape and have found a way out. But they're in it again, and that one is rightfully penalised. Els and Munster through Holland, I think. Need to confirm that one, but they've won the line out. That doesn't need confirmation. And McCarthy kicks downfield. Benetton can't win their own ball, but Sarto goes a long way to securing possession with a terrific field. Petrozzi. Where's this one off to? Into touch it goes. It's JJ Hanrahan.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Petrozzi wants to feed it, but it's not steady, and the clock will tick on, and Benetton won't mind one jot.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Petrozzi's feed, and Allen and Munster come tearing up, but the out half holds onto the ball and holds on to possession, and Benetton crash into the Munster 22, and it's still there for them. And you look at the clock, every moment it's ticking against Munster, and Benetton are believing in themselves. This is a side that was rocked by Zebre in 2 derby matches just after Christmas. They lost at home, they lost away, they've lost in their home ground on every occasion they've played, in every competition since December 2019. And with 45 seconds left in this game, they lead the conference champions. But Munster, because when it goes back in from the line out, it'll be the last passage of play. They're going to need to do it again. Taken by a Hearn, and Munster go to the maul. And Benetton, with everything they've got, will defend this, but Munster march on for another yard or two, and further they go. And McCarthy looks, have we got a penalty? He asks the referee. and there isn't one coming, but they still go forward. And the ball's available, and there's no penalty there, so Munster will have to do it as up come Benetton to smash them backwards.
Stay on side, Green.
A penalty will do them, that's all they need. McCarthy, Ahern, Allen with the tackle.
No, off feet, Green, thank you.
McCarthy once more, O'Byrne. Scrum half, finds Dale Ande. Tackle is made on him. Benetton almost afraid to compete for fear of giving away the penalty. Coombs, the latest to carry. Now it's O'Donnell. Ball presented perfectly for the scrum half. O'Byrne then to carry. Munster inch ever closer to that Benetton 22. 1.5 minutes into additional time. The ball was there. Back in the pocket is Hanrahan. Drop it goal to win it. Would you believe it? Would you believe that? Away. JJ Hanrahan stands up and delivers, and Benetton hearts are broken once more. What a finish to the game.